Hello, hi CEO. It's Obi here, and I'm with my friend Heather Doran, who you met a couple of times now already in the group. And she is a business financial coach, and we're going to be talking all about her work and how she got it done this quarantine. So I just want you guys to join me live. If you can see, hear us, and everything, let us know where you're calling in from. And then we will start. Just get people to find us on the feed. Okay. But otherwise, Heather, make yourself comfy. If you got a drink.
I do. I actually have my coffee. It is Michigan State Spartan. So this is for Michigan State. So if you know anything about like college football here in the U.S., Michigan, University of Michigan and Michigan State, they're big rivals.
Gotcha.
So, I'm a Michigan State fan. So anybody who's local to the U.S. will know, go green.
I like that. I like it's a very strong statement on that mug there. What is that? Is that a skull?
It's a Spartan. Head? It's a Spartan head, like a Spartan. And then it's that's their thing. Anyway, it's a Spartan thing. And then during their games, like at the very beginning of their games, they play, because I've been to many of their games, they play the thing from the movie where he goes, "Oh, oh, oh."
Brilliant. You heard it here first. Heard it barking.
Oh, somebody does Spartan races. Yes.
Hello. Hi, Helen. Hi,
so my husband actually he signed up to do 3 Spartan races. He's going to go for the trifecta this year. Well, this next year, because they closed them for COVID. But where are you going to be on the Spartan races? I want to know. We're going to be in the South area.
Let's see what Helen responds there to be able to see some notes. Okay, so I'm just going to kick us off. So, Heather Doran, my friend, good to see you. So, do you want to introduce yourself? Okay.
Yes.
And, so, who are you?
Yeah. So, I mean, like simply put, I'm an accountant. I started doing accounting really young, 15, 20 years ago. I'm a teen mom. So I had my son when I was 19. And I was getting out of high school, going into college, and what did I want to do? And I was like, oh, accounting sounds good, whatever. So I essentially made it up the ladder and realized that it wasn't all that I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as exciting as, they make it out to be. They basically are like, oh, you get a job, you have a career, and, your life is perfect, right? And so that's obviously not what happened to me. So I started a business just helping other people with their finances. And what I found is that there's this huge need around why they're not doing things with their finances. So basically what we do here in the CEO time is what I help people do around their finances. So getting around why they're not paying things, why they're not looking at their money. So basically the money mindset. So I help with both sides of the money. So helping you, the traditional side of getting your money in your systems, looking at it, that type of thing, making strategic financial decisions. But then I also help you with the mindset stuff, which is, why are you not where you want to be financially? Why are you not looking at your bank account? And what can we do to help you? Yeah, exactly. And what can we do to get you over that hump? So all the productivity stuff, as you will, around money.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who have not watched the session, there's a session in the unit somewhere where Heather said about money blocks and productivity and how that derails your productivity. So if you haven't watched it, I'm going to encourage you to go and watch it, especially if you're a business owner. Money block, it's part of the productivity block that we identified during the challenge. It is a thing. And if you don't deal with it, it will deal with you. I think it's one of those, almost like receiving money is become the problem. And if you can't even receive a compliment, how are you going to receive 10K? It's just one of those, it's amazing how the brain works, really. So I was so excited when you came to do that for us, because I have money block. We've talked about that before. and I'm working through it. And this is why it was particularly important for you to get your course out there, because I thought a lot of people don't know that they're walking around with this block. They're blaming other reasons for why they're not making the money in the business or whatever. And they hadn't considered the fact that they're psychologically blocking it, really. So
Yeah.
it was so important and imperative that you created this course. And that brings me to how we met, because both of us we had a business coach. We had the same business coach, signed up for a 12-month program at a time, 12-month program. And so about how to run your business. And so I assumed that that's what you were working towards. So of course I'm surprised when you're thinking I still need productivity issues. Or have productivity issues. So could you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So like when I was doing coaching, and a lot of things that I was working on was like hiring people, getting systems set up. And I offer one-on-one service with people. So that's basically what I have been working on. But I also had this idea on the back burner that kind of sat there a long time, which was working on like a group program, which is basically where we work as a group through these things. And so what I found working in a group is that a lot of the things that come up for one person come up for a lot of others. And so it's really empowering to be able to hear other people say like, yeah, I understand, and be able to share their experience. Feel like you're in a petri dish when it comes to, especially when it comes to money stuff, because we think that we're on an island. We think that we're the only ones that are experiencing this, and that's just not true. And so I had sat on it for 3 years. The idea.
3 years, Heather.
Yeah. So, and I had actually hired somebody to help me put together an outline for the program. I had done quite a bit of work on it, but I hadn't done the work to like launch it. And so that's what we worked on during the time when I joined the productivity session.
Okay, so here's the question I've got for you. We were in a business program. By very definition, is to help us create this business or create the course. So why wasn't that enough? What I'm trying to understand is why you couldn't get what you needed there. What was that?
I mean, I think it's just basically making it a priority, right? So, there's so many things that we want to do in our business, with like making a website, hiring people, getting content, this, that, and the other. But creating a program was like, in my mind, I thought I had to have all the things done before I could release it into the world. So that was part of it. And it was just one of those things that just never, we just never made the steps for it to happen. We were always working on other things. Okay. So that's why I just sat kind of like, yeah, one day I'll do that. One day I'll do that.
For 3 years, you sat on it.
Yeah.
And so what were things like for you? So I remembered before you joined the program, we had just entered quarantine. A lot of countries have locked down. If I remember correctly, that was June. So or May, April actually, yeah. We were all locked down. And everybody was freaking out, if I remember correctly, we're so sure that the business was going to tank. It was not going to work. Oh, well, there's nothing to do right now. Just sit at home and just wait it out. So I remember that feeling around me at the time.
Yeah.
And, we were feeling the same, oh, okay, well, this is it then. We'll just buckle down and just wait like some storm coming. And then I remember feeling like, nah, I had caught COVID. That was it. Suspected COVID.
Uh-huh.
And I recovered after like a week and a half or something. And I remember feeling like, nah, I don't want this to be a thing. Ooh, we got doggies. They're good. How are they?
Oh, they're good. I think it's Amazon or something. Somebody just dropped something off. So of course, everybody we have.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember feeling like that. I remember feeling like, okay, well, what's the point really? But then I just got a kick up the ass, and I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but I think it was just being ill. I had more time to reflect and stuff, and I thought, no, I don't want this to be my, I don't want it to be my quarter or my year. So what was going on for you at that same time?
So my job had actually just moved everybody to a remote learning environment or to a remote working environment. And I was an early adopter of remote. I was trying to actually get a remote job from other resources. And so for me, this was like finally, like, because I was commuting an hour each way, at least an hour. Some days it would take me an hour and a half to get home. So, I mean, anywhere from, 2 to 2.5 hours, I was commuting, and it was a huge drain on my energy. It was a huge drain on my day. And it was actually stopping me from getting a lot done in my business because I was commuting. And that was one of the first things that I worked on with you, was picking the best times of the day that I was going to be productive. And what I learned is that when I was driving to work is when I was the most productive and I was the most like turned on with my work. And so I had already started making an adjustment to where I was going in late, or like adjusting my hours to a little bit later. And then we started working from home. So it worked out really well for me to be able to do that. And I was an early adopter years ago for a remote learning environment, or, working learning environment. So actually I did my entire master's program and about half of my bachelor's program online.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that, actually.
yeah. Okay. So, I mean, like I was, when I graduated from high school, my college had it was like a blended learning environment. Online learning was very new at the time when I graduated from high school. So, I don't know, I just gravitated towards it. So for me, it's been better.
Yeah. Okay. So that, you were already prepared to do that. You're settling into working from home. And then the challenge we run came up. And I remember that's where you got this whole idea of, okay, why am I working at this particular hours as opposed to these other hours? What made you join it? What made you decide to join the bootcamp?
So I had a lot of people, like I'd run my idea by a lot of people, and they were like, why don't you put this out into the world, and that type of thing. And so it was just it was a great opportunity. It was like perfect timing, basically, because like I said, I had already hired a content creator to create the outline for me. So she had already started creating the outline. I basically just needed to sit down and add the rest of the content, and then do the launch plan for people to start joining. So there wasn't really like a good excuse for me to not do it. But, obviously I needed that extra like accountability. I think the accountability was helpful, and being able to like show up to the co-working sessions and just like, this is dedicated time that you're going to spend on it. So I think that was really important and really helpful for me at the time.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you sharing that, actually. So how did the bootcamp help? So you joined with 6 weeks at a time.
Yeah. So I ended up starting my plan. I did the plan for the first month of the program, and I did the launch plan, and I put together the content for, basically for launching the program and for the training that I was going to do. So basically like the first part of the program and then launching it. And so so I eventually ended up launching the program so that I could sell it to people. And
why I'm laughing? I'm not even laughing, I'm just thinking 3 years.
Yeah.
And you did it within 8 weeks in all, I think.
Yeah. I mean, so it was really funny because we'd gone through the whole process of okay, when are you going to work on this? What's going to be the most like productive time for you to work on it? Like when your brain is turned on and all that stuff. And it was interesting that I would sit down and I would just, in 30 minutes, I would create, like the content for for a lesson or whatever. It would just it was it was like it just would come out. So it wasn't like a struggle. So because we had done it strategic, the way that I was going to work on it, it was strategic in, when are you the most productive? And being able to figure that out, I think that's like 90% of the battle is like, okay, it's one thing to put it on your calendar, but it's another thing to actually like be productive when you start working on it. And so I think for me, that was the biggest thing is when I sit down to work on it, I'm actually able to get something accomplished instead of just back and forth and nothing happens. Because we had learned that like inside of our like time blocking, we had learned that with coaching and stuff and doing time blocking. And I wasn't able to get as much done just because I wasn't also being aware of when my energy needed to be plugged into those blocks too.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was really helpful.
Yeah, that was interesting because if you didn't know when to plug your energy, then you didn't know what to outsource to your team because you then had a team because you didn't. Yes. You had one person and then you just grew your team.
Yeah, I know. So I'm managing a team of 3. Well, so yeah, that's the other thing too. So I had just hired a girl too. So I have 4 now on my team. And she was helping me with my systems in the business. And she's like, hey, so we need to have a team meeting so you can introduce me to the team. And I had never done a team meeting. Like, it was just like I had a VA that I talked to once in a while. And I had a social media person that, we talked once in a while. And then we had this team meeting with all 4 of us. And it was funny because we had a conversation. It was like an hour long and like they all went out and did stuff. And they like came back and they were like, oh, look, I did this. And I was like, wow. It just gave them an opportunity to really come back to the table with like, what is it that you're wanting to do? What do you want to accomplish? Let me help you, so you can accomplish that. So that was really important too. So being able to like pick the time, be very strategic about, these are the things that I'm good at. These are the things that I'm going to outsource and really spending that time to, with my team. Because I didn't really, I'd met with them individually, but for all of us to be around the table and like collaborate was, it was like, oh my God, why haven't I done this before?
Do you have an answer for that? Why do you think you never did it before?
I have like major leadership fears. So that's like one of the things, like people work on mindset. I like money mindset. Mine is leadership mindset. So that's definitely something that I've been working on and really working through like being a good leader and being, it's not the Heather show, but really, being empowering and all that stuff. So, I guess I'd never done it before because I have a lot of things, or and I've worked through them, a lot of things around being a leader and of the team.
Stepping into CEO role, because you get kind of thinking, okay, if I run my business, it's just me, myself. But actually, that's not even, in hiring guys, ain't got to get to join now. Being a guy to run a business. So in a way, we've had to just manage each other, manage ourselves. When we had a team, we had to decide who's managing that person or how we're going to do it. But I suppose it was easier to step into the fact that, okay, we've got these people, they need to know what we're doing. So it's interesting, a lot of CEOs forget, even though you're hiring a VA for a few hours, you have a team, so you need to act like you've got a team. That will allow you to step into your own zone of genius and it's helping knowing your energy, which bit you're good at, which bit you're thinking, I cannot be doing that at that time of the day, that, who else can do that at that time of the day that I can't do? Oh, yeah. Then they're like, oh, yeah, I can do that. And that's just amazing.
And really even asking for help. I think that's like what we forget is just to be able to ask for help and to be able to communicate with people. So that's definitely something that, I've worked on. But I think through this process of being productive, it's been, being intentional about communicating as well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. What was the favorite part of the boot camp for you? What do you say was the strongest part? You thought, that would work that for me.
I think it was probably getting the accountability and the co-working sessions. So being able to have that like intentional dedicated space that we created in the beginning, and really like, what are you going to be working on? And, you know, going through the calendar and joining the co-working sessions and stuff like that. So that was definitely helpful to have that dedicated time.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have said that was a favorite one of the favorite things, because it allowed them, especially if you were avoiding something or procrastinating on something. Once you decided that you're going to join the CEO circle, then you're like, okay, I'm going to have to join and state my intention. And depending whether I or Ngozi was running it, Ngozi run a tight ship. You don't mess with Ngozi. So I'm actually slightly nicer. Ngozi didn't let you get away with shit. So this is why it felt like, I think at every level, we kind of covered people. I like to think that that's what it was. So there wasn't anything like, oh, I needed help today, or I needed support today, but I didn't know where to go and get it. I like to think that didn't come up, because there were so many options.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you achieve? So you finished the course. And how many? Tell us about the course. What was it? How many times did you sell it? How much?
So I launched it in August, and yeah, I think it was July, August. No, it was like August, because we're still doing it right now. So we launched in August, and then we had 10 people join. And I had my whole team joined. So we're doing it right now. We're actually in the first section of the mindset. We're actually just getting through the mindset section. I invited my really good friend and business bestie to come in. And this is the other thing too. You get like these inspirational things as you're working on it. I was like, oh my God, can you come in and do a hypnosis on money blocks? So my friend, who is a hypnotherapist, she came in and did that. And we've been working on different things around money. And it's been interesting just to be able to, for the group to be able to just be like, oh, wow, this is why I'm not, doing these different things with money, or realizing that like these certain things are creating them to stay stuck. And so just, there's been a lot of like really big ahas. And one of the ladies actually has, this inspired her to sit down with her spouse, and they went through like their whole budget and their finances. And she realized that her, the way that she was thinking about money and the way that her spouse thought about money and how he spent money was completely different. Like they've been married, like, I don't know, 8 or 10 years. So, I mean, that's like huge that your partner thinks differently about money.
Yeah. And you know what? And one of the things that I know why we talk about, okay, what the course, how did you do it? It's because I want other people to know, including you, in terms of reflecting on why you don't sit on stuff. Because you sat on it for 3 years. I've met people who sat on their stuff for longer. Okay. And
I'm not the longest.
No, you're not the longest. I'm proud to tell you that. We have 8 years. So you're not the longest who just held on to ideas and thinking, because you're thinking, it would be okay. I held on to my ideas. I held on to this boot camp. I was supposed to create this 2 years early already, but I was like, no, it'll be fine. I'll just carry on with the other thing. And what I wanted to know, just so that you can see that a lot of marriages break down because of money. Like that is like one of the number one reasons. I did top 3 reasons why marriages or relationships break down. And here you are creating a course or a program that allows people to understand that at the fundamental. And this can go on to save the kind of conversation that they have and the kind of relationship that they have. So this is huge. This is not like, I could teach someone how to make money. No, it's not that. This is, and there are a lot of people who would never have said, money is what created their fiction or what made it hard, because people don't want to admit that. It's almost embarrassing to say that the reason why your marriage didn't work out because of money, right? Because then it's like, well,
for sure. And it's never, And it's never
money.
like it's always like underneath the surface, right?
Yeah.
It's never something like, we don't come out and say, oh, well, the reason that I won't go sell my thing is because I'm afraid of being wildly successful and having 10, $20 million in my account. Like, we don't say that. Like, who says that? But under the surface, it's definitely there. And so, yeah, you're right. I mean, sitting on it really wasn't doing anyone justice. So, so yeah, it's definitely been amazing. I'm really excited to run it again because I believe in this process. I believe in this program. I believe that like people who, just they need to understand like these things exist and it's not to be judged. It's to be healed. And I really do want to help people heal these things around these stories around their money and things. Again, they're deeply rooted, whether it's been from our childhood or even from, past lives or whatever it is, or whatever situations that we have. It's deeply rooted and we don't realize it. We don't consciously realize that we're doing it until we're just like, oh, wow. Like, I mean, how many times do you say a day or a week, I can't afford that?
Yeah.
Like how many, and that is one of the most pivotal things that actually stops you from, having a bigger business, doing more in your life, having financial freedom. Or even like, how many times a day or a week do you say, oh, I'm so stupid, or I can't believe I did that? Or how many times are you mean to yourself? Those are all subconscious programming that's happening. And if we're not changing that and we're not aware of it, then we're just going to keep doing it and it's just going to be on a cycle. So anyway, that's a little bit about what I talk about and
so when
get on my soapbox about it.
No. I know. And I can listen to you talk about the soapbox because everybody's got this issue. They're like talking about it. When is the next one running? And because you got 10 people the last time enrolled in it.
So we're gonna launch again next month in October. And so I really want to get this like off the ground. I know like November is always like crazy for people, but we're running into like holiday season and stuff like that. This is like the perfect time to talk about your money, right? Like we're coming up to the year end and all of that. Yeah. So I'd like to have it like right before the end of the year is when we'll start our next round, which I think it's going to be perfect for talking about end of the year and new holiday season and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, especially because this is a financial difficult year for a lot of people.
Right, it is.
Yeah, it just, if you've not lost a job or you had a furlough or, something is reduced in terms of business owners where we're concerned that people may not be able to pay for our services. And once you're scared, you're going to do stupid things.
Even not even that, and then there's some people that have had the opposite effect, right? Yeah. So they have their business has blown up. I have a client that her business actually blew up during this. She does things with estate planning, and so people realize like I need to get my estate done or whatever, and her business blew up. And so, then there's people who have the thing of like, oh my God, I've never had this much money. So they don't have the capacity. Like they're just like, what do I, it's almost like it's a stopping fear. And, you think about it, the reason why, what is it like 90% of people who win the lottery lose it within 3 years or whatever. It's because it's not about money. No, it's not about money. It's about, there's so much, programming and conditioning. And that's the reason why we have a windfall of some kind. And then we stop ourselves from that so that we can progress and move forward. So it's not even about people who are financially struggling, but people who are, have money, but they're just like, oh shit, now what?
Yeah, now what? Where can people find you though? Where can they kind of find out what the course is about? Especially, people are going to need this stuff.
Yeah,
Where can they find
so
out?
I hang out mostly on Facebook in the group. I have a Facebook group that I hang out a lot with, and that's where I do trainings and stuff like that. It's called the I totally forgot. I'll have to put the link. I can't believe more than just taxes.
More than just
I'm
taxes
clearly
and
just having
woo.
to bring. Yes, we talk about money and woo.
Woo.
Yeah, so we talk
Yeah.
about the spirituality of. So if you're not like, you think that cards like tarot cards or angels or any of that is evil, then it's probably not for you.
It's probably
Yeah.
not for
So,
you.
and that's
But
okay.
if
I'm
you're
okay with that.
curious enough, then you definitely go. You definitely need to go to Heather. And I get what I love about what you do is that you've combined your whole of yourself. That's what I love
Yeah.
about what you do.
Thank you.
You've combined the analytical bits, the accounting, which is literally that. It's literally analytical. And you combine the psychology of money and how people manifest money, and you've combined some level of spirituality in which those align to you in a way. And this is why
Yeah.
you combine it. So what I'm telling people is, if you don't like woo, and while you're not averse to woo, go woo. You're gonna learn some stuff that you never thought you'd learn. So Heather, I got one last question to ask you.
Yes.
And that is, I've got a few people in the group. I've had a few DMs, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the doors to the Get You Done program ends tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
It
Okay.
ends tomorrow. So it's nearly time. And some people have been saying, "Oh, well, I can't afford it right now," which is fine because I can't get to. Can't afford it right now. Which is, at the end of the day, I have this thing now. Do not get involved in someone else's wallet. Don't climb into someone else's wallet. It's not your business at all. So I do appreciate the people who have come from that thing there. So, but there are other people who are just tilting on the edge. Should they do it? Should they not? And so there's a lot of mindset stuff that's happening. Now, what would you say to them? Because it's someone who you could eagerly just think, well, I don't need this program. I can just carry on with the coaching program, the business one I've signed up for, paid good money for.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone like that, thinking, this for me, and why should I?
So, so I'm just going to be honest here. Okay. So the whole, I can't afford it. So if you are in the camp of, I can't afford it, I want to challenge you to, first of all, change your language. So my money mindset's going to come out in a second. So I want to challenge you to change your language and really realize that you can always afford, for the most part, you can always afford what you want to afford, essentially. A lot of us have Starbucks budgets. We can still afford our, Saturday coffee or whatever it is. If all of a sudden our kids need whatever shoes, whatever it is, we do end up affording it, right? So it's really not a matter of I can't afford it. It's really just about priorities, right? So that's what I really want to encourage you. Number one, whether it's this program or whatever it is, really just to evaluate your language around I can't afford it to, well, it's just not a priority right now. And if it's not a priority right now, that's okay. Yeah. Or if it really is a priority and you really do about, what can you do to make it work? Money is infinite, ladies. Like I am telling you right now, like you could make money doing anything, like seriously. My husband and I were talking recently about how, and this is just totally off the wall, but like people will sell their used panties. There is a market in the industry for men and probably women who like worn panties. And there are women out there who sell, and I'm not saying that you do that. I'm making a point that they're like, you could literally do just so many things in your life to make money. And there's opportunities, for making money. Like shit, you can walk dogs, like you can do a lot of things. So I'm just making the point, like literally their money is infinite. People go to their mailbox and they get checks all the time that they're like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. So really just open up your capacity and your vision for what, money is. And like, it's literally unlimited. So if you open up your vision for money to come into you, it will, if you really want to do this program and money is an issue for you. So that's what I'm going to say first about the money thing. But when it comes to the whole, like, if you're on the fence because you're like, I can still do it with my current coaching program, or, you know, my most favorite one is, I can do that myself.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Well, if that was true, then you would have already done it, right? So, and I'm saying that because it's me. Like, I was there. Like, I was like, okay, well, I could do that. I could create a schedule and do it, right? But sometimes we just need that extra accountability, and we need the structure. And so, if that's you, then this program is going to help you do that. It's going to help you create the structure. It's going to help you create the systems that you need to get whatever it is done, to get your shit done. So if you're sitting on this inspiration that is not only helping, you make money or whatever in your business, but this is also helping other people. So like me putting this program out in the world, yes, like I made money from it to grow my business, but like the transformations that people have had through my program have been like life altering. So you can't even like put a price on the things that I've been able to help people do. So if you're sitting on something that's like that, that's life altering, that's what this is going to do for you. So just, you take a business program to get like help with your business, but this is very specific to you getting a task accomplished that's going to help you put it out into the world that you can continue to improve and work and everything else. So, I mean, like, I got this program done, but I'm going to continue to keep going with it. Like, this wasn't a one-time thing. Like, I showed up and I did a thing, but I did a thing that's going to continue to live for a very long time. So this is an investment. So like every time you spend your money, you're also investing your time, your energy, and your effort, right? So, this is really going to help you not only, again, invest your money, but then properly invest your productivity and your time.
I love that. I have thought about it, but I hadn't quite. The fact that it's not one and done, that this program is just going to carry on until you decide to stop offering it. But it's a program that you needed to create at one time and create it well and create it with support, knowing it's exactly the impact you wanted to make. And now you've got this program. You never have to doubt it. You never have to second guess it. It's there, it's live, and you can keep running it. You run it again next month. And
exactly. It'll keep going. I mean, and even if this is a website, like let's say this is a website for your business, this is a fundamental part of your business that's going to keep living. So, and most people, that's what they're doing when they join this program. They're creating something that's going to continue to live. So this isn't just for you to like do something for 12 weeks. This is for you to create something for 12 weeks that's going to continue to live. This is an investment that will continue to live for the longevity of that part of your business.
Oh, thank you so much. I couldn't have put it. That was perfect. So, if like Heather, you definitely want to get shit done, doors close tomorrow. Okay. And that would be it. So feel free. I'm going to put the link in the comment. I'll put link to comment for Heather's group so you can go and join to let more, especially if money blocks have been a thing. So even if you don't join my program, at least go and join a group, because especially if you have money blocked anyway, it could be a great time for you to at least start unblocking some of those stuff. So thank you, Heather. Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
I appreciate you all the time. So any questions anybody had? Let me have a look quickly. Go ahead and saying, I started an online business.
Oh, someone said they asked to join the group. Okay. Oh, I can't see your name.
Okay, awesome. Okay, good. I can't see it because it's coming late in there. Yay! Okay, thank you, Heather. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
Definitely. And guys, let me know if you need to ask me any questions. I still got the coffee chat. I can't do tonight now, it's late. So tomorrow, book yourself